you're a Michigan fan and you've been following the game rivalry for a very long time. And I think personally, this is the best rivalry in college football. Just the hatred, the vitriol, the funny nicknames that Ohio State and Michigan fans give each other. Like, you got Ohio State fans saying scum and meanwhile, you got Michigan fans saying the suck guys. With you being a lifelong Michigan fan, what is it about this rivalry where there's just so much hatred and vitriol between these two fan bases? Like, they really don't like each other, Sam.
You have to go back to the border war, the war of words, the the Toledo War, where Michigan and Toledo, not Toledo, Michigan and Ohio as states fought over the city of Toledo. Ohio got it, and then Michigan was compensated by the United States government with the Upper Peninsula. So there's already an Ohio Michigan rivalry that really transcends the game in general, but where the game really begins to kick off. And college football is something I love. I'm very passionate about. With college football history, I'm not as strong on that history as I am on like other history. But from what I understand, it's Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler. And the fact that for Bo Schembechler, a friend and assistant of Woody Hayes, to go to a rivalry program is viewed as like, understandably so, this ultimate betrayal. And from there, you have the 10-year war that really ramps this up. That's why everyone references it. That's why Jim Harbaugh and Ryan Day, when Harbaugh got his first win over Ohio State, it was going to be 10-year war redo. Part of me wishes that Harbaugh almost stayed around just so we could see, well, which 10-year war is better in terms of like performance. But I think Sharon Moore will be able to hold his own end against Ryan Day and vice versa as well. So maybe that'll be the better 10-year war. But that's where it begins, is Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler and them going back and forth as Big Ten dynasties. And yeah, the reason they hate each other is because of Bo Schembechler leaving. He left Ohio State to be the head coach of Miami, Ohio, and then went to be the head coach of Michigan. And from there, it's been back and forth, back and forth. And both fan bases have radicalized, like after the John Cooper era, where when a team beats you and dominates you like that, you just hate them. It's like you don't care even if there's a historical rivalry there. You just despise them. It's like everyone with Alabama. They hate Alabama. And then when Ohio State brought in Jim Tressel and Tressel started owning Michigan, well then it's like, heck yeah, we finally get to, knock those arrogant pieces of crap. It's probably what Ohio State fans think of Michigan fans on their back. And then Urban Meyer did it. Looks like Ryan Day was going to continue it when they just thumped Michigan and Ann Arbor in 19. And then Jim Harbaugh in 2021 gets a new staff, returns Aiden Hutchinson. Ohio State's 2021 team is the weakest team under Day up until that point. And Michigan thumps them. And that was an unleashing of emotions that had been mostly bottled up for 15 years. And now the rivalry is at another point of like radicalization because the sign stealing, which angered Ohio State fans. And Michigan fans are angry that that's all some Ohio State fans can talk about, even when that's a denial of some of the legitimate things that Michigan did to improve. Not saying they didn't cheat, they did. But at this point, it is what it is. Stallions has been gone for closer to a year than anything else. He was gone for more than a month before Michigan played Ohio State, and Michigan beat them. And now you see it even in my comment section. Michigan fans think that, oh, Ohio State, they can't beat us. We've beaten them for 3 years in a row. It's like you only return 40% of your production. Ohio State has the game at home. They return a ton of starters. And they beat you for nearly 10 times in a row before you beat them for 3 times in
You
a
want to know
row.
something funny? The
What?
same exact thing Michigan fans are saying about how they beaten Ohio State the last couple of years and Ohio State can't beat them. That's exactly what we were thinking when Ohio State used to kick Michigan's ass nearly every year with Urban Meyer. But then all of a sudden, you was always ask yourself, when is it going to be the year? And then when it finally happened with probably the greatest Ohio State quarterback ever in CJ Stroud, everybody was like, wow, well, it won't happen again next year. And they've continued to run amok on Ohio State, Sam. It's
Yep.
just, I think the tables are going to turn this year. I think Ohio State's way too talented. They got way too many resources. They've been recruiting way too well. And they have arguably the best coaching staff in America. I agree with you that I think that Michigan probably ends up taking the L this year.